Alright, YouTube. This is a video I've been waiting to make for a while. Inside here is my new Coleman 639C kerosene lantern. Again, if you guys are on the forums, the Coleman collector forums, you've seen me post about this. I'd asked you for your advice, and a lot of you had said that it's a good lantern, and plus I still want to support Coleman in making these traditional liquid fuel lanterns. So I said, hey, I wanted a good workhorse, kind of reliable, nothing I'm gonna have to fiddle with for a few years, kind of lantern, and this seemed like a good choice. So I got some other stuff in here as well, but get that out of the way, screen protector and that sort of thing. But this is what we're here for. And look at that, there it is. And this is a big boy too. This is probably, like, the font is about the same size, if not a little bigger, than the 220C over here. Now, this lantern is bigger. I was looking at the size comparison, and I've watched a few videos of it. It's definitely bigger than even like a 288 or standard dual fuel. I think it's similar in size, at least font-wise, to the dual fuel powerhouse. But I mean, it's pretty hefty here. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Put this back on the carpet. So yeah, let's get into this. So again, it's a one mantle lantern. It says it's adjustable, although to be honest, kerosene doesn't adjust super well because it's so because its vapor pressure is so low, and it needs to be vaporized. When you turn it down a little bit, it can tend to flare up. It includes a alcohol bottle for preheating, 2 pints fuel. Has a clear globe, heat shield, obviously. I'm not a genius here, and maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but that seems like a typo. Heat shield system protects the control value. I think they mean valve, but whatever. So yeah, 5 to 6 hours basically of runtime. Now, the 220C will easily run like 8 hours max on full brightness. I've gotten it anywhere between 7 to 9 hours, depending on how I play with the brightness. Yeah, so there's a little bit less runtime here, but we're gonna get a lot more light because this is 500 candle power. It says 784 lumens. Now this is interesting to me because I was looking at the powerhouse dual fuel, and it said that the new powerhouse dual fuel puts out over 1,000 lumens, and that's more than this. But I always thought that these were the brightest lanterns Coleman had, so maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, so standard Coleman box. It's not as interesting as some people would hope for, because they hope for some kind of colorful box, but Coleman always has a really nice low-key style to them. Which kind of makes it sort of more timeless, if you will. Although sometimes in the older ones they make these little funky dudes that looks like I swear it looks like a cartoon Dick Tracy or something like that. All right, so here's the vent, and I gotta say that that still feels pretty solid. It's not as heavily porcelainized. I mean, I can already see a little bit here. If I want to macro in here, I'll show you. Ever so slightly, the edges aren't as sharp or aren't as cleanly covered as I'd hope. But again, that's some pretty decent porcelain coverage, because these things do get hot, even hotter than white gas. So I mean, that's a perfect vent over here on the 220C. So, but at the same time, that doesn't get nearly as hot. So, well, we'll see how it stands up. So here's our alcohol preheat bottle, and if you've ever seen Kurt Ludwig's channel, which is I think now changed its name to Lantern Lab. He talks about how you can put a little bit of RTV inside here to seal that up, because you know when you first get it, this plastic works just great, but after a while it expands, and then this tube slips out, and then it also doesn't seal anymore. So you when you squeeze it, it just squirts out of here. So yeah, so when I'm looking at this right now, I'm looking at this burner frame. You know, it's a lot of stamped metal. It's not as exactly high quality as I expect. Man, that is a big ass lantern. I mean, font wise, I think that font. I'm gonna put this next to the 220C here. Considering Coleman's been downsizing all their lanterns recently, I would argue that I'm pretty sure that font's a little bit bigger than the 220C. Again, I can't be sure, but yeah. Is there anything else in the package here? Okay, they gave us some number 11 mantles. I actually have some number 11s, some Peerless number 111s, should I say? And those supposedly, hopefully, contain thorium, which will be much brighter. Here's a little manual, instructions, and here's the bail. The bail comes in a strangely manila envelope. It's very interesting, actually. Yeah, so nothing to write home about, not just the bail. So let's first of all put it together, and then I will cut to me actually lighting the lantern after I fill it up and stuff, because I don't want to have to put that on camera. You guys don't want to watch that. Alright, so there's the globe. It is intact, which I'm very happy about. I was worried that that was going to be broken. Made in China, but you know, I can always get another one. Get a USA red letter. You know, it's not going to be too much of a hassle to do want to get one of those. But again, I guess, you know, one of the advantages is if I just keep this globe in there, I'm not going to be worried about breaking it. Or as worried. I mean, I'm still going to be worried if I'm out in the field and then suddenly my globe breaks. But I won't be as worried because it's not going to be, you know, as high quality of one. I'm going to just, to avoid getting fingerprints on this, I'm going to put the camera down real quick and I'm going to wipe this out with a microfiber. So I don't leave any fibers or fingerprints in here. And I can get the cardboard pieces that it comes with. I can get those out. Alright. There we go. It's all clean. So there's our preheat cup. And there's a stopper that will prevent the preheat cup so there's a stopper in the frame that'll prevent the preheat cup from if you like were to flip the lantern temporarily or swing it, it won't damage the mantle. Here's the burner assembly. And again, the only thing with these newer lanterns is I still think they're made with pretty good quality, if not very good quality. The difference is the non-user serviceable parts. For the most part, correct me if I'm wrong, forum members, but aside from maybe changing the burner cap, you know, there's not a whole lot you can do here with this. Now, I'm not saying that there would be a lot that you'd have to do because it's all sealed together. But if it were ever to get clogged or some spider were to make its nest up in there, you know, that might be a little bit more difficult to get out. So, you know, again, not going to complain. All right, I am going to remove the danger safety clip thing here. And then we'll go ahead and put it together and see how it looks. So there's the heat shield. Easy enough to get out without, you know, having to remove the generator or the preheat cup. Let's test out that pump, by the way, because it's got a neoprene. Yeah, it's a little stiff. I'm probably going to replace it with leather. Comes with some pressure from the factory. Use one piece. It's a one-piece cap, obviously. Smells like manufacturing. We also, let's check that valve. I'm not sure if the valve is supposed to sit all the way in the off position. But if it is, I'm probably just going to remove that screw and move it over a little bit. All right, let's put that globe on. So there's the globe. Let's put that, where's that vent? Let's line this up. Yeah, I always thought this was very interesting that this one doesn't actually have any place for a ball nut. Hang on, I'm gonna just put the bail on, and then I'll turn the camera back. All right, there it is, with the bail and everything. And I gotta say, as lanterns go, considering Coleman's been making really small and smaller lanterns, especially if you look at the 288 and you compare it, that is a pretty big lantern. Because I mean, that's right next to my 220C, all right, and the 220s are, you know, pretty big lanterns. So that's you know, it's pretty massive, and especially you know, 220s generally have a, unless you're talking about the big hats, the 228s, they generally have a very straight up and down design. So the 639C here sort of expands as it goes up, because you got the round kind of curved globe, and then you got that big vent. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut to lighting it now for the first time. All right, so here we go. Have the lantern filled up. Have my alcohol preheat bottle. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the preheat. I'm gonna go from the other side actually. Fill up preheat cup. There it is. I'm sorry about that alarm in the background. I have no idea what the hell that is. And because I can't get in there with a lighter, I'm going to go ahead and sort of dribble some alcohol here as I get out. That way I can sort of use a lighter to do this. And it doesn't seem to have lit. Oh, it has. Never mind. Alright. I'm just checking. So the alcohol flame is hard to see. But, yeah. So we're just going to let that go for a while. We got to preheat that generator. Just letting it do its thing. Hopefully you can see that alcohol flame now. This is actually not 100%, so it's 91% isopropyl, so it's a little bit yellow, so you can actually see the flame. It's pretty warm out today, surprisingly. It's Christmas Eve and it's 64 degrees here in Pittsburgh, so probably won't need to preheat too long, but nonetheless, I'm gonna just let it do its thing. Man, that is kind of smoking a lot. I'm expecting that not to smoke so much. Probably should have used 100%. Maybe it would smoke a little less. Although I do think that the mantle might still be burning. No, I'm pretty sure that's the alcohol flame. Oh, that's interesting. There's people living across the street literally do not care about their car at all. There's a heat shield dragging on the ground. They need a belt tensioner. Don't get me started. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's probably okay to crack that valve, but rather be safe than sorry. But it is smoking a lot, which, like I said, is very surprising to me. I would have expected that flame to be a lot cleaner, because it's, you know, alcohol. But, you know, it's smoking a lot. I mean, I don't know if you could see that. There's a lot of smoke coming off of there. So, but yeah, we'll let it get down a little bit more, and then I'm gonna assume that it's ready to go, because it's getting down to the bottom of the preheat, and it is pretty warm out today, so. Alright, I've pumped the lantern already, so all we gotta do is crack the valve. And yeah, I think it's ready to go. There we go. Just waiting for that preheat to come off. There it is. Now the alcohol is still burning a little bit, so if I back off a little bit, you'll see that it's still burning in there. So I probably should have put a little bit less alcohol in there. But I want to let the lantern burn a little bit, just to let that mantle really cure up. But yeah, man, this thing is loud. There it is. Yeah, definitely not super adjustable. I mean, not more adjustable than a lantern with a cleaning rod. Not to mention, if you're not careful and you back off the kerosene too much, not a kerosene lantern too much, you'll get a flare up. Mainly because it won't be able to vaporize the fuel because it'll be too low temperature. So, preheat's finally done burning. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the 220C, and we'll do a comparison of the brightness here. Maybe put the camera over here. And I gotta say, having an Instalight lantern is definitely a nice touch. And that one went out. Okay, we got some soot. Hello. Yeah, we got soot. Gonna shut it off here. cleaning off some of the soot there. Alright, give it a pump up. Feels about maxed out there. Alright, can open that valve all the way. And now, if you look, there really is no comparison. Like you could look at that, and then look at that. In person, the brightness difference is noticeable. And again, it is in the middle of the day right now, so that is another thing. But yeah, guys, you know, I'm happy with this purchase. Yeah, do more videos about it in the future. But there it is. I'll do a full review, I guess, at some point.